So, after as you know, we are developing the Roblox cinematic universe. And we've started off with Jailbreak, right? But I didn't finish the movie. So I'm not saying the rest of it will be continued in the second movie. I am developing one, but we're just sticking to the first one. I just decided to release it as a two-parter. So the story continues, and as you know, the police, including Game Master and SWAT Man, have realized that that the prisoners have taken over. Yes. So, what do they do? You may think this will be a boring second half of the second act. I don't know, it's only the second act of the second act. But how it goes. So firstly, after they realize this, they realize that a member lives in the town nearby the city and the prison. So they go over there to the city, and before they go and talk to them, they decide to go to the donut shop to eat donuts. However, then a criminal shows past who has his gun and is going to steal from Bad CC, who again is the guy at the station. And what happens is and he has a group of these people. There were a bunch of criminals hiding about the entire city, but we don't know about them. So what they do is this leads into a epic battle, aka just hits and punches, of them trying to catch down them. But actually, because they have a lot of guns and they're very clever, they don't always get catched down. It's kind of those ways where the criminals manage to get away. So it's like that. But after that, what do? They eat donuts, but then after that, they go back to their mission. After that, a jewelry robbery happens again, and a bank robbery at the same time. So the two teams split up, but the bank robbery fails, as well as the jewelry robbery. This leads to more dilemmas where you realize they're more powerful than you think. For the first half of the second act, they're just a lot of criminals. But there's a lot more now. Here's the thing. Due to this, a lot of buildings have become empty. So they've sold those as apartments. And guess what? They realize that the apartments are there because, you know what? The prisoners had the apartments and were just building up all of their plans. So, as we're going to continue, in the end, what happens? So, what happens is eventually when they leak this information out to the world, they realize, hey, they realize they need to attack. So they're going to attack them like a lot of civilians. Like all of the civilians live in apartments, probably including this guy. So, in the end, did they defeat them? Sort of. Again, they get off. So what happens now is they decide to set up a plan where all the police will go around different areas spectating them. Some of them stay around the city and towns helping the civilians. A group of them, which is the one we're going to focus on now, we'll see them trying to stop them. So what happens is they go to prison life and they decide to spy on them, and they have plans, and they own a nuclear power base, not the one back there. Another one. And in this one is where they have something. And that's just a tease for the future films. So what happens is they track them down and they realize that every prisoner who escapes are going to be contacted by them in their volcanic base. As you know, they didn't know about it, but again, there was a meteor. I don't know if I mentioned this in the last video, but there was a meteor, sort of, that hit it. But that turns out just to be artificially made to disguise the police. So, in a volcano base, they're always planning this stuff, including how to attack the civilians, things like that. In the end, they decide that they're going, so what happens next is Game Master decides to confront them face to face. I don't know. And they actually have a massive fight on top of buildings. And does things get destroyed? It sort of does. It gets on fire. And it basically is like the ending of a regular blockbuster with sort of CGI. So in the end, they defeat them until the 2 post-credit scenes. Yes, I do not end anyone was quick, but I don't really want to get into the specifics about fighting. The first post-credit scene sets up the rest of the cinematic universe. About how Builderman tells Game Master that he wasn't the first one to be involved in something like this. AKA, there was an entire war in the past. And he will join a new team known as the Roblox. Yes. This is the first tease of the big event movie you're going to do. Just like how Iron Man set up that in their post-credit scene, and the Mummy set up it in multiple different scenes. And if you stayed here, you may know the second post-credit scene will tease the nuke. Remember when Jailbreak got nuked? Yeah, we're gonna do that. Not in Jailbreak 2. I have 2 ideas that I'll kind of think through, but it's not gonna be the nuke. I will do a own movie for nuke. It may be it, and it's gonna be in phase 2, which don't have plans. So it could be a movie, it could be a spin-off. I don't know. So yeah, thank you very much for watching this, and tell me what you think will happen in the next one, which will be an Arsenal prequel.